Well, greetings everyone, online on Zoom and also on YouTube. I am Claire and I'm a senior student at Don Mountain. And I'm really delighted to be joining y'all virtually, getting to meditate together. Um, so for anyone who's not familiar with what we do on a Sunday morning, it's a very simple practice that our teacher has given us. So basically, we alternate between silent sitting, resting the attention in the center of the abdomen, which the Tibetans call the do, and just really letting the mind settle down there. And the other part of it is we sound the syllable hung together. So hung isn't a word really, it's just a syllable from Sanskrit. It's associated with like enlightened or awakened mind. So if you want a meaning to put to it, there's that. But what we're going to do in this meditation is really just use hung more as an object of meditation. So everybody knows you can focus the mind on the breath, which is what we do when we sink our attention to the center of the abdomen. You'll feel the sort of expansion and contraction there with the breath. But the other thing is almost anything can be an object of meditation. So we're going to use the sound itself of the syllable hung as our object of meditation. You can use the sound of, well, I guess it's just me online. Everyone else is muted, but you can use the sound of me saying it if you want as your object of meditation. If you're comfortable saying it out loud, you can use the sound of you saying it and also the physical sensations of making sound. You can use that as your object of meditation. So with either object of meditation, really your goal is to give your mind something to do, like enough to do that it kind of starts to like settle in and do a task, but not something so complicated that your mind just like spins off on all the different little details. So it's a little bit of something for your mind to do, but as your mind gets settled, you can just see if you can kind of relax into the experience of the breath instead of like needing to have a tighter, more focused attention on it. Excuse me. So most of what I want to say. That's the first part of the practice. After we do that, we'll do a sort of a shorter second practice where we share the benefits of our practice with everyone. So like in Tibetan Buddhism, we have this sense that when we do meditation practice or any kind of spiritual practice, we're not just doing it for ourselves. Like ultimately, the goal is to be able to share it with all living beings. And obviously, this is not a Buddhist practice specifically, but it's your invitation to think about the broader impact that all of our actions have. So when we take a positive action like this and we think about, you know, wishing for it to spread out and sort of ripple out to everyone else in our lives, everyone else in the world, it's an opportunity to kind of like enlarge the scope of our practice and enlarge the scope of our aspirations rather than just kind of thinking, oh, this is like a hobby. You know, I sit down, I do it for a while, makes me feel better, then I get up and it's not part of the rest of my life. So I think that's enough introduction. Go ahead and settle into a meditative posture. Nice straight back is helpful. Whether you're sitting on the floor or in a chair, really the main thing is to try and be as upright as possible, but relaxed at the same time. So I have a little cushion that I like to put behind my hips, kind of helps me sit up straight if I'm in a chair like this. You can even do this meditation lying down if you're having, you know, back pain. The main thing is just to try and stay alert and aware. So settle into the posture. You can, if you'd like, feel the contact between the base of the body and the chair or the cushion that you're sitting on. And I like to imagine a plumb line that starts at the base of my spine and just drops down through the floor, through the top layers of the earth, all the way to the center of the earth. And if you find during this meditation that your mind is just zooming everywhere, you can come back to this image of a plumb line, kind of making the base of your body heavy, keeping you grounded. So with that as an introduction, we can settle the attention down into the center of the abdomen, feeling the breath as it flows in and out of the body. If you find it difficult to bring your attention there, you can imagine that your attention or your mind kind of rides your breath in through the nostrils, down into the lungs, and then it just keeps going down into the center of the abdomen. So we'll begin by just letting the breath settle down into the dough, the center of the abdomen. If your mind is agitated and it's going everywhere, you can just notice agitation. Try and be curious about what that feels like. And if it's really too much and you're just not feeling settled at all, you can come back to that image of the plumb line dropping down from the base of your spine, connecting you to the center of the earth. And if you're having thoughts, just see if you can let them kind of float through your mind. As long as we don't grab onto thoughts and follow after them, they just naturally arise and cease. So we're not trying to keep them out. We're not trying to follow after them. We're just letting them naturally do their thing, and we're noticing as they do it. Now we'll shift our attention to the syllable hong as we sound that, just letting the mind rest in sound in the same way that it was resting in the physical sensations of breath. Now we settle the attention back down into the center of the abdomen. And again, we'll shift our attention to the sound Hong. And again, we'll sink the attention down into the center of the abdomen.
And again, we turn our attention to Hong as our object of meditation.
And again, we'll sound Hong. So now we'll wrap up the first part of this meditation. And for the second part that we'll do, instead of just sounding a syllable to be kind of an object of meditation, we're actually going to sound the syllable ah. And the idea is that this is kind of like an open sharing kind of a sound. And we're going to imagine that this ah sound carries the blessings of our practice out to various people. So the first time that we sound ah, we're going to imagine that our entire body is suffused with light and dissolves into light. The second time that we sound ah, we'll imagine sharing this light with everyone else who's meditating with us right now. So we're sending it out to everyone and we're also receiving it from everyone. And then with the third ah, we're going to imagine that collectively we kind of send this light out to everyone. So whether for you that's like your city block or the North American continent or Europe for Kaisu or basically the world or the entire universe, like however big your mind wants to go with it, we imagine just sharing these blessings with everybody. And again, we'll do that with the syllable ah. So let's just take a moment, kind of settle back into a collected space. Get in touch maybe with the benefits that we've gotten from this practice, and then in a minute or two, we'll imagine sharing those benefits with everyone. So with this first ah, we dissolve to light. With the second ah, we share with everyone else in this group. And with the third ah, we share with everyone in the world. Well, thank you everybody for practicing together. And if anyone has names to say, to kind of dedicate our practice to that you haven't shared already, please just put them in chat and I'll read them at the end of our practice time together. This is anyone who's ill or looking for a job or they've recently passed away or just need some help of some kind. So while people are entering names in chat, I'm wondering, Emily and Gary, if there are announcements to make.
Yes. One second. So we have a new course coming up. We have Qigong with Simon starting Saturday, February 6th. Qigong's kind of an internal style. It's gentle enough for anyone to participate, but also builds strength. Then we have our Dzogchen Cycles retreat coming up on February 19th. This is freeing wisdom from seeing to being with Lady Wisdom Prajna Paramita coming up. And we actually have quite a few practices. There will be an email tomorrow with our calendar for the month. We have a lot going on because it's low star. So there's going to be a Jitro practice as well as Green Tara and Yeshisogil throughout the month. So. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily. And there's also the Dharma explorations happening, right? That's starting this Tuesday.
It's continuing. It actually started 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks. It started January 19th, but it's not too late to join if you haven't joined yet. So yeah, that's the next one will be Tuesday the 2nd.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I was confused on that. So there's a lot of great stuff going on. If you're not on the Dawn Mountain mailing list, totally should get on that list. Just go to dawnmountain.org and you'll find places to sign up. So that way you get the newsletter, you know what's going on, you get the links to join all the practices. So let's dedicate our practice and bring to mind the folks who need some extra help right now. So we dedicate this practice to all living beings, and in particular to Anna, Tim, Aaron, and Tina, Jose, Monica, Carlos, Camachos, and people who have COVID, our teachers, our Sangha, all suffering animals, Peter and his parents, Michael and his mom, my nieces starting school tomorrow, Gary, Emily, Vatana, Whitney, Nancy, baby Oliver, Sylvia, Rolando, Nathaniel, Emma, Leah, Ed, Geraldine in the Bardo, Grace, Amin, Michael, Chris, Jane, Leela, Madge, Jackson in the Bardo, Jesus Caballos in the Bardo, and Jeannie's mom in the Bardo. So may all beings be well and free from suffering. And we have approximately 3 minutes left. So I don't know if anyone has any questions or any comments to share on the practice that we just did, but we have a little teeny bit of time here. For folks on Zoom, you can just unmute yourself if you would like.
Thank you, Claire. Good to see you, everybody. I miss you all.
Thank you, Claire.
Thanks, y'all.
It's
good to see everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Have folks here from the Pacific time zone all the way to, I don't know what the time zone is called, but Europe with Kaisu joining us at night.
What time is it, Kaisu?
Well, it's actually not that late. It's just dark. It's 7 p.m.
And Claire, there was 9 people on YouTube today.
Oh, excellent. Hi, YouTube people. We can't see you, but when we said those ahs, I feel we were connecting with y'all anyway. And everyone who listens later too. All right, well, thanks everybody. Have a wonderful week and see you at that Teaching Tuesday / Dharma Exploration on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, y'all. Bye, everybody.
Bye.